No,
a company known as. No, you are saying that.
No,
what are we doing
community
now for food production and all that?
I'm coming, but I know. But when you mention water, I will remind you of that. When you mention,
you can't have me two questions when I haven't finished the first one.
When you mentioned water,
when you mention
water.
No. What is now happening in Edo with regards to the issue you are raising about food production, etc. Now, I want to deal with that. Now, we have revoked the Agbede Warake farm because the owner just took it and it was operating it, and new investors have taken it over. Last week, we got a company that has set up what they call Produce City, just 5 kilometers out of Benin, to produce variety of agro businesses. And about 50 businesses will be located there. Last year, Julius Berger started constructing, the Azura power plant, which will generate about 450 megawatts of power. And across the state, I think over the past 2 months, we have signed more than 20 certificates of occupancies for foreign investors that are specifically interested in agro businesses. So, but again, like I said earlier, there's always a time lag between when these actions are taken and when they begin to manifest. So over time, Edo will produce not just enough food for Edo people, but it will contribute a lot to the Nigeria food basket.
I was actually coming to the water issue, which is very important. When you say some communities which Hidato were told that they can't get water, have water now. A case in point has always been where they had one of their schools, which is the Immposible University.
Yes.
Perhaps you should also tell us how many of those communities now have potable water.
Incidentally, I think part of the problem has been that, in the area that Immposible is located, which we call Edo Central, people traditionally rely on natural rainfall to collect water during rainy season to last them through the dry season. Because somehow previous government persuaded them to accept that it's not possible to get viable borehole. But I had a conversation with people who should know, and I was told that there is nowhere on the planet where you can get water. But the issue is the water table varies from one area to the other. And so it's about your choice of technology. Now, if you have private borehole providers who are not able to invest in modern technology and they cannot drill beyond 200-300 feet, obviously they can tell you that, sorry, your area, they can't get water. So the first thing we did was to import 3 heavy-duty dado rings, almost the kind of rings you use for oil drilling, and they can go up to 1,000 meters, about 3,300 feet. And the first place we deployed them for commissioning was at Ekpoma, which is where Immposible is located. And after drilling for about 1,000 feet, we were able to strike water, industrial borehole, and reticulated it to Ekpoma community. We moved it from there to Iruekwe, still the same local government in another area, still to make the point. And as we speak, they have water. There are many places around that community where we have sub borehole. As we speak, they are drilling borehole at Okboji. We've done boreholes at Irua. We've done boreholes at Ewohemi. We've done borehole at, I believe, Ohodua, and a number of places. Now, I've just concentrated around the Immposible axis.
And that you're sure that those boreholes are sustainable? Because for some people who have been in Ekpoma before, they say that it's not for lack of government coming in to try and give them some water. It is whether or not those actions were sustainable.
That's a good point. I think the issue is, and we're dealing with this now, to be honest, there are issues of reorientating our people. Everywhere around the world, when government delivers water, it's not free. Somebody must pay for it. But the water we are delivering to our rural communities is free. Now I find, for example, in the case of Ekpoma, before we sack that borehole, they have what they call water committee, which is chaired by very responsible people from within the community. And their business was to try and raise funds to hopefully one day get a viable borehole. Now the government has come in to seek a borehole. We have reticulated it around the community. But because of crisis with power supply, we have to install a generator. And because of the depth, the kind of submersible pump you need is such that you need heavy-duty generator to power it, to pump it out. You can't do it manually. Now, you sink the borehole, somebody says he can't afford to buy diesel to run the generator. And once there is no diesel in the generator, they cannot pump, and then there's no water. Now, the more of the borehole we have sunk, the more the challenge of having to ensure that there is diesel in each of the generators, and or that when a generator breaks down, somebody maintains it so that it can keep pumping. So now you have some couple of communities where they will tell me, comrade, the water has not been working. We no get diesel. Now I would think that communities should be able to organize. And I'm saying to them, when we give you a borehole, it is your own. Manage it.
What about
since you are not paying to government for consuming the water, I think you should raise some money as a community to manage your borehole. Some other time we ask local government, like you said, local government chairman, look, this borehole is handed over to your community. Between you and the community, ensure that this runs. But again, there are issues. When local government revenue falls short of what they need for salaries, you have one story or the other. In some local governments, they take it up and ensure that not only do they procure diesel, that they manage the service, the generator, and ensure that there's water supply. In some other local government, you will find that their priorities are different. But the point to be made is that going forward, it shouldn't even be the business of local government. The community should be able, because whether you are in UK, you are in US, you are anywhere in the world, government does not deliver free water supply. So, but the process of encouraging our people to have a sense of ownership, because virtually every community launch what they call funds to attract their sons and daughters from abroad to contribute to sink borehole. Now you have a government that is able to sink borehole. A young man from Edo came on with a very interesting suggestion. I think Mr. Mike Isime, very brilliant guy, a private sector person. And he said, come with these heavy-duty rings, we can deliver water to so many communities by simply doing a PPP with each community. Okay, you bring your borehole, and you bring your ring, you sink the borehole, once you strike water, hand over to the community, let them now buy the submersible pump, pay the cost of reticulation, and you move the machine to another community. If you do that, every other week, we can deliver a new borehole. But again, people were doing this before government procured this heavy-duty equipment, and somehow people want to be spoon-fed, and that can be difficult to sustain. So maintenance is a challenge.
We'll pick up on...
but we will have to deal with it, and I believe we're already working out a policy system in which we create a governing, a managing, we call it a governing council now, or a community committee responsible for managing the borehole that is in each of the committees.